2021 by the one and only Team 17, probably the king of indie games for the past couple of decades or something. We have yet another new title in the works going by The Night Witch, an action-adventure that combines Metroidvania-style gameplay elements like exploration and stuff to the old bullet hell action stuff. Here's a trailer. The game's on its way to PCs, Switch, and other consoles as well by the end of 2022. Now, coming up behind that, and I believe this has actually been over a few decades since the last time I've seen something as quite accurate to the old Sunset Riders game, we have here with us today something called Death Wish Enforces. Well, as you can see, a Western-themed run-and-gun shooter with zombies and supernatural entities in it that actually features a 4-player and local co-op as well. This game's on its way to the PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, only early to mid next year. Moving on at number 3, it's the old Iron Meat. This is a post-apocalyptic based run-and-gun shooter, something quite a bit inspired by the Contra games and pretty much most of the 90s gems or run-and-gun shooters. But in terms of premise, well, apparently you're in Russia and there's some sort of alien invasion and an experiment by some mad scientists has gone wrong at the same time. Now, this game's available through a demo on Steam and the full thing releases pretty soon, we hear. Moving on, and I believe there's a good chance you already heard about this one, but just in case, we have Squirrel with a Gun, which is technically an Unreal Engine 5 game in the making and about some squirrel with a gun in his hand. So there's not much to say, frankly, besides the gameplay, in which case you have missed. This game is coming over to PCs only, and a release date for it is still yet to be announced.
Hi, I'm Thomas from Pixel Pogo. We are a two-person indie studio from Germany, currently working on our first game, Super Cat Boy.
Moving on, we have Super Cat Boy, which is, well, technically it's Metal Slug and some Super Meat Boy thing mix, or at least as the title suggests, from earlier this year actually at the Tokyo Game Show. Well, Super Cat Boy, however, does not have a release date yet. Still, it is scheduled to come out sometime around the summer this year as a run-and-gun platformer with elements of beat-em-up games and some more stuff. Check it out, this game's available through a demo right now.
Army of human-like dogs in his laboratory. In the beginning of the game, Catboy meets Weapon Girl, a crazy and gun-enthusiastic girl who equips him with an arsenal of firearms and accompanies him on his journey. The game mixes platforming and run-and-gun elements. The player moves very fast through diverse levels featuring snow-covered mountains, deep forests, forsaken factories, the bottom of the sea and much more. Instigated by his sidekick Weapon Girl, he will even be trespassing private property and stealing secret plans from the evil scientist's mansion. To do so, his abilities cover a wide range of combinable cat-like moves and beyond, like jumping, scratching, dashing, shooting, wall jumping, clinging onto walls, and using a variety of melee attacks like a fast dive kick. Additional bonus levels like riding a motorbike or participating in a Wild West cowboy duel promise for even more variety in gameplay. The story of the game will be told in detailed pixel art cutscenes, featuring charming characters and funny dialogue. Being born in the 90s and growing up with titles like Mega Man X, Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country, it was a
Signi or Signy, All Guns Blazing, on the other hand, from last year, just got itself a new update trailer, some more gameplay in a release window of early to mid 2023, and supposedly releasing for PCs, PS5 and Xbox Series X only. Well, this is by Konami itself, touted as a spaceship shmup that harkens back to the classic days or arcade shooting days, whilst introducing a breathtaking, modern futuristic presentation. Check it out, just in case you missed it. At number 7, we have once again Warhammer 40k shooters, Blood and Thief. I think I've actually mentioned this one only once. The game just got itself a new trailer and finally released it on October 20th this year across every single platform there is. The description reads: the game promises the same over-the-top, two-dimensional gameplay and set within the Warhammer universe. Check it out. At number 8, we have Arc Sync, a twin-stick shooter at heart, but one with one hell of a load of nostalgia with it, be it taken from the old Blackthorn game from almost 30 years ago to the not too recently revealed Microsoft exclusive game Replaced. Arc Sync is on its way to PCs only, we hear, and it's gonna be released early next year. See, Steel Mantis developers just announced that Valfaris is being treated to a sequel going by the name Mecha Therion, which is currently scheduled to come out late this year. Now, this actually comes with a twist, and you see, Mecha Therion has got rid of the Valfaris' action platformer formula, and the game's now going to be some sort of a side-scrolling shmup and into a new direction. So yeah, while the original was just a 2D platformer, this one comes with a shift in both graphics and gameplay. Take a look. Never Awake, on the other hand, is once again a twin stick shooter. Actually, I've mentioned this one just a few months ago, and now the game is finally having itself a release date. It's gonna be released for PCs, Switch, and PlayStation consoles only, September 28th this year. Here's a new trailer. The game's got over 80 levels to go through, dozens of bosses, and a gameplay system that allows you to retry levels, which is not something new. But yeah, check it out in case you missed it.
To get to work, Beck.
Moving on, we have once again Biogun, which is a pretty slick styled Metroidvania that came out a few months ago, with some one-of-a-kind hand-drawn animations in which basically you're on this mission to save a friend, and this game's supposedly some sort of comedy. It's actually got all the right side-scrolling twin-stick shooter elements too. This one's available through a demo now on Steam, and the full game's set to be coming out very soon. At number 12, we have Remote Life 2. Now, this is, for those of you unfamiliar, a science fiction-based, action-packed platformer where story-wise you're trying to escape this alien colony or whatever. Now, obviously this is actually a sequel, even though I haven't even played the original, but apparently now there's even more weapons, vehicles, and some new aesthetics as well. The game's on its way to PCs and due out only on Steam and due out around December this year. At number 15, we have here an old school style shmup going by the name Gray's Counter GM. Actually, this game first came out back almost 5 years ago, and now technically it's being remade with the goal of recreating some sort of a more advanced version of that game with some quality of life improvements over the original. It's a top-down 2D side-scroller, as you can see, a shmup, and a very action-packed game in terms of overall experience. This one's coming to all consoles and probably by the end of 2022. Moving on at number 13, we have here one that is straight out of 90s and pretty much just an 8-bit like the old Nintendo's Terminator 2, and about some sort of alien invasion where you get to counter that thing, whatever, as a special operation unit, just like the old Contra games. Frankly, I love this one. The game's available through a demo on Steam, and the full game's set to be released for PCs and Switch by the end of 2022. Coming up behind that, we have Tiny Troopers Global Ops, a so described by its developers as a fast-paced arcade twin-stick shooter in which you lead an elite squad of tiny troopers. This is a PvP game apparently with co-op or play support, actually playable with up to 4 players. It has all the old arcade-style elements to it as well. This has been in development since early 2021 and now releasing for all consoles and Switch, PCs of course in about a few months. We hear. At number 16 from earlier April this year, with very positive review scores on Steam, and we have Metal Mind, which is a roguelite looter shooter pretty much inspired by the old Into the Gungeon game, and a very decent game as well, definitely worth the money, so to speak, with little to just no bugs at the moment. Check it out, the game's even available through a demo, and this is what it is all about. Coming up behind that, we have Ghost Knights, A Dark Tale. This is a 2.5-dimensional action platformer, as you can see, set in some toon dark fantasy world where this mad king is in search of immortality, and so he opens up some sort of a dark dimension. Technically, that's what the description suggests. The game is pretty much inspired by Ori games, especially in its boss fights departments. We know it's being built with Unreal Engine 4 and is releasing for PCs only early to mid next year. And last but not least, we have Sentry City, a cyberpunk-style side-scroller and a time-based shooter. Frankly, this is just a quick mention in case you're into side-scrollers, which I'm assuming you are. The game is pretty fun, the controls are very good, and the difficulty is not that hard either, but the challenge is actually there. It'll take you roughly 8 hours to finish, and it's been around since July this year, with a lot of positive acclaim as well. Check it out, just in case you missed it.